Hello, everybody. Welcome back, beautiful souls. Please just make sure that you like, share, subscribe, and comment anything on the channel to help get the algorithm going. It is greatly appreciated. And let's go. All right. So today I'm not really using the cards. This is more of a short channeled message that I've been picking up on. I feel like this is the energy of someone who's trying to figure out something about their inner process, right? Like there's something that's changed about your inner process and you can't quite explain it just yet. So it feels like someone who's no longer able to force themselves into realities that don't resonate with their soul anymore. All right. That way of living is in the past. Something within you has changed. And I feel like you're noticing it. And it's like you can't just say yes to things because they look good on paper anymore, or we're not just moving because other people expect you to move. You're not answering your phone or responding to text messages or emails immediately just because someone expects you to, right? You're really sitting back and giving things time and space to resonate. And you're not just connecting with people because they're available. I do feel like this is the energy of someone who has become more exclusive, right? Maybe you're more hard to get in touch with. Your time or your focus is not easily accessible. And everything in your life, it actually has to feel right. And really, what's interesting is that I don't feel like this energy is difficult at all. I feel like this is a much easier way of living. I feel like spirit is teaching someone how to play with life again. Okay. You're learning how to explore again, how to experiment. You're learning how to move through different energies, through different people, different opportunities, and different creative inspirations. And you're literally learning, how to feel which direction is expanding your soul. And this is someone whose next chapter cannot be navigated logically alone. I will continue to stress that on this channel is we are in this 5D earth and it is a more feeling based way of living and navigating, right? It's not so logical. Things are not linear. It's not just this hard, you know, way of doing things. You are being asked to feel your way through this. You have to feel emotionally aligned. And honestly, I feel like this is why someone or maybe a lot of you have been sitting in silence lately. All right. And it's not because you're lost, it's not because there's nothing happening, but it's because your soul has entered this phase where it needs room to speak, right? And you're learning how to hear yourself again. You have to pull back and you do have to sit in a silence in order to reconnect with your soul. Maybe some of you have recently gone on a mini sabbatical just to give yourself time and space to connect with spirit again. And I feel like you're learning how to tell the difference between what stimulates you momentarily versus what nourishes your soul, like what truly feeds your spirit. And this is a completely different way of living because I see someone who's no longer interested in building a life that only looks good on the surface, right? No more superficial way of living. You want a life that actually feels beautiful for you to wake up inside of. You want your relationships to feel aligned. You want your environments to feel aligned. Excuse me. You want your creativity in your body. You even want your nervous system to feel aligned. And there is nothing wrong with that. No, you're not being too nitpicky. You're not being too I don't know, you're not being arrogant, you're not being stingy or selfish. You're just learning how to move forward with things that truly resonate with you. And this is key. This is what makes your life feel whole. This is what makes your life feel expansive. I feel like someone is becoming deeply aware that their frequency actually affects every single thing around them. Like your energy, it shifts rooms and people feel you. Animals, they can feel you. Spaces even can feel you. And this is how opportunities start to respond to you. And because of this awareness, I feel like you're becoming more intentional about what you do allow yourself to engage with energetically. But spirit keeps showing me that this beautiful, playful energy that's surrounding you, you're playing with it back, right? And although this is a deep transformation that you're going through, again, it doesn't feel heavy. I actually feel like someone is beginning to enjoy their life again. Someone is exploring life almost like a game. I like to think of my life as a game, like I'm the main character and I have all these little missions, throughout the week or the day or the month, and everyone that I encounter is there to help me. There's different check marks and mile markers that I'm supposed to reach, and I get these rewards and these Sonic coins and all of that stuff, right? I build my character development. I play with my aesthetic, and I feel like that's what you're doing too. Let me know in the comments, how do you view your life? Is it a movie? Is it like a Truman Show? Is it more so of a game? Like, is it the Matrix? Like, how do you maneuver through life? All right. But yeah, anyways, I feel like someone is trying different aesthetics and different creative ideas, different routines, and you're trying connecting with different people and having different experiences, right? Someone's like, oh, what the hell? Like, what have I been doing? Playing the same movie over and over and over again. Like, I have the choice to, implement in my reality what it is that I truly desire. And every single thing is giving you this energetic feedback. And your soul is literally teaching you through resonance now. And if something feels draining to you, you can feel that immediately. And on the other side, if something feels nourishing to you, you can feel that immediately too, right? If it feels expansive. And that's because, excuse me, your sensitivity is actually heightening, but it's in a way that's actually helping you navigate your reality more clearly. Where before, I feel like at the beginning of our ascension, I'm just going to say at the start of 2020, when everything changed, the term empath and, you know, um, I don't know, clairvoyant and all of these terms that we use, and sensitives and all of that, we use those, but they were kind of being used against us. It kind of, made us want to not engage with anyone. That sensitivity, we would pick up on energies and be like, oh no, I don't want to deal with that. But now this sensitivity is being used as a navigational tool. It's letting you know, what do you want to continue to connect with, what feels right to your soul. And spirit is saying that this next chapter, it's not about force, but it's more so about calibration, and it's about learning how to emotionally and energetically operate within the reality that you prayed for while you were in that in between phase, right? Because I do feel like some of you have crossed a major threshold recently. I think a couple readings back, I actually touched on, being in that in between phase. And now you have crossed this threshold. And some of you are moving, some of you are changing careers, or some of you are entering new relationships or new soul connections, soul tribes. Some of you are starting to even step into visibility and into leadership roles. And some of you are finally building the life that you used to dream about, right? But now comes the part where spirit is teaching you how to hold these things, how to maintain them, right? And how to maintain peace while existing in those things, while you're expanding, and how to really stay connected to yourself while you're flourishing, right? How to remain emotionally clear while your reality is starting to speed up around you. Ultimately, how not to get lost in the sauce. All right, because I feel like someone here flourishes when their life is full, when you're busy, when things are busy around you, when you feel creative inspiration, when you feel connected, when you feel this connectedness to everything, when you feel inspired. I feel like you thrive in expansion. And what makes your energy so powerful is that you also understand sacred stillness. Okay. I love me a good sacred stillness. I have a brand in my business, and I labeled it Sacred Stillness. Um, but you understand when it's time to pull back, when it's time for you to recalibrate, or when it's time for you to sit in silence, or let your emotions settle. Right? When it's time to allow inspiration to naturally rise within you instead of forcing yourself to constantly produce, to constantly output. You're not a robot. You're going with the flow. This is the season of flow for someone, right? And honestly, this is wisdom. It's emotional mastery, because spirit is showing me someone who's learning how to live beautifully instead of just surviving efficiently. All right. And this is a massive energetic shift, because this reading really does feel like someone who's learning how to trust their emotional navigation system again, right? And this is like the key. This is how you're going to maneuver in this next phase of your life, is is trusting your own emotional navigation system again, and learning that your feelings are not, they're not inconveniences, but your feelings are, they're information. Your resonance is information. When you feel excitement, it's information, or peace, or even when you feel resistance against something that comes into your field, this is information. All right, it takes it back to your soul, and you now have to figure out, well, where do I move from here after connecting with this thing? Do I keep it? Do I let it go? All right, so someone is learning how to do that, and the more that you trust that, the more your life begins to unfold naturally around you. And I really do keep hearing spirit say that the life meant for you, it's going to feel like you, right? It's not exhausting, it's not performative, it's not forced, but it's you, right? You're going to know when something is for you simply by feeling it. And I think really that's the lesson, is that your soul is no longer asking you to chase life, but it's teaching you how to align with it because it is already there. So I hope that this message resonates. Again, if it does, please like, share, and subscribe. It is greatly appreciated. Let's get to know each other. Share what country or what state or what city or where you're at in the world. And just give me a, let me know. Just let me know. Let's get connected. All right. But for now, I love you guys, and I hope that you have a beautiful day, and I'll see you later. Bye.